Well, guys, the parade preparations in Moscow are full speed ahead. You see the heavy armored vehicles and tanks are moving across the central part of Moscow, and these celebrations have always been a major event for the majority of Russians. And now it's better that we go just a little bit to the history of those parades. Uh, Actually, there is a question: why did the Soviets celebrate the October Revolution while Moscow was fallen into Nazi hands back in the 1940s? Thousands of Soviet soldiers took part in 1941 October Revolution parade in Moscow from Red Square. They immediately marched straight to the battlefield to stop the Nazis, who already were a stone's throw away from the Kremlin. This was probably one of the most unusual parades back in 1941 Moscow had ever seen. On November 7, 1941, soldiers marched in Red Square to commemorate the 24th anniversary of the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution and immediately moved to the front line to fight the Nazis, who were just 30 kilometers away from the city center. The unusual parade honoring the revolution was seen as the most important in the USSR. In mid-October 1941, however, a few believed that such a parade was possible that year. The city was on the brink of catastrophe, and German troops had broken through the Soviet defenses and appeared on the outskirts of Moscow. The evacuation of industrial and administrative facilities was underway, and what couldn't be moved was mined to destroy. The transport system was paralyzed. The city was gripped by looting, robberies, and fires. Panicked citizens fled Moscow. I'm talking now about 1941. And if we take a look on the parade, which is actually it's not a parade, but it's a parade rehearsal, great rehearsal to the end, which will kick off just in a few days' time. And I see them that most of the Muscovites are taping the heavy equipment movement all along the streets to toward the Red Square. Still, Moscow is a little bit chilly. People wearing their spring coats and different beautiful architecture all over the place. There you see, and the highway is a little bit sealed off with those kind of uh, protective rail guards to keep people away from the driveway. Actually, some beautiful ladies are up and down the pavement walking, and the some of them are just watching the heavy equipment move toward the Red Square. We see the sort of the riot police, which is OMON in Russia called. And we see the armored vehicle carrier is flying a Soviet era red flag with a hammer and sickle on it. And here is this kind of the, I guess, what is that? It's something like the rocket launcher, like the Grad system, as far as I can figure that out from the distance. And here is another Grad, which may be something like a relic or something like that, because Russia has some pieces of advanced advanced distant rocket launchers. And here's the downtown area of Moscow. Actually, I can't figure out where they are driving that from. Which street is that? Still, well, I didn't want to Google. But let's go back to a little bit of history. And the panic citizens from fled from Moscow. Everything they could carry to stop the chaos on October the 20th, the Soviet leadership decreed a state of siege. A curfew was imposed, and the city was taken under control by NKVD. This is something like the Interior Minister troops or Soviet secret police forces who more or less stabilized the situation. Yeah, the situation was really dire. But strict measures were not enough. Muscovites back then needed something inspiring. It was then that the Soviet leadership decided to hold the revolution parade in order to demonstrate to Moscow, the USSR, and the whole world that the Soviets still could and would fight. This is something about the will. This is about the willpower. This is about sort of the uh, dragging out some stamina from the store and opening the second breath to protect your homeland. This is all about that. What the history offers. The first task was to secure Red Square from the Luftwaffe, which is the German air forces. Um, German air forces raids on Parade Day. On November the 5th, the Soviet Air Force began preventive strikes on German airfields. 550 fighters were commandeered from other front lines, and anti-air troops were put on the highest alert thanks to those measures and strong snowfall. No enemy plane reached the center of Moscow in November the 7th. And we see now the heavy equipment again on the front armored vehicle carrier. Here is the this is also a uh, heavy missile launch system like the I really don't know the sort of the type of the missile system, whether it's S-300 or S-400, which is more advanced. This kind of the length of vehicles with the logo of the uh, George, sort of that kind of the George ribbon on the side of the vehicle. You see that, which exemplifies the victory day, which has to do with the oh, another beautiful lady with a curvy booty there. She's such a sweet thing. Yeah, this is the brick architecture somewhere, and the gates are open there. Whether it's sort of a military museum or something like that, still I have no idea. No matter that, I have been to Moscow over dozens of times. With the people are having fun, just cycling, just driving this kind of scooters and other armored vehicle carrier with a Soviet flag, flying the Soviet flag, and here is a tank which I had not seen before with a turret gunship and some on the backside some rocket launchers. Yeah, it says that Moscow is still not a one place. Another Okay, yeah, another tank following the front one. Okay, let's go just a little bit continue with the history of the 1940s. The Soviet leadership undertook some unprecedented steps. The camouflage was removed from the Kremlin stars, which were temporarily lit up again, as well as from Lenin's mausoleum there, and the tribute stood the Soviet leaders who had remained in the capital, including Stalin, who made a solemn speech from the tribune. Okay, at the same time, most country leadership, along with foreign diplomats, were the similar parade in Kuybuchev, uh, another city just away, a little bit away from Moscow now, which is called Samara, the city on the Volga River, which is 1,000 kilometers from Moscow. Now, not far from Kazakhstan. The city has lined up as the temporary Soviet capital in the case of real one fell. People walking up and down the street. As the song goes, eyes watch, girls walk. It happens everywhere. Okay, 28,500 soldiers took part in the Moscow parade back then in the 1941. Most of them were artillery, cadets, and rifle cavalry, artillery, and tank units in the Moscow garrison and reserve and the Supreme High Command. This is the very center of Moscow, something like the Tverskaya Street, which those are okay. Is this vehicle? I don't know what's its purpose of why it doesn't have no barrel or something like that. It is kind of the technical support of the troops, or still have no idea. Yeah, the Moscow is a little bit bustling now on this video, which has been taken, I guess, a few days ago. Now is May 5th. Well, okay. I want to read the name of the street, and here there is a name tag there, but I couldn't catch a glimpse of that. Yeah, the May 9th, it's something like the uh, a D-Day or something like that for the UK, for the Americans, in Normandy celebrations. This is a very big event for ordinary Russians, and the Russians like that. And more, we would like to say that more NATO pushes put into the corner, the more they are going to give their uh, hearty support to Putin, and they will they more they are gonna like him, they more gonna leave him supported. Another lady here, a gentleman in a t-shirt, somebody's throwing into the trash can some garbage there, people. But a lot of people have dropped to the street to take a look the this arm movement toward the red squall. Oh, you catch take a look. This S-300 weapon system with some 300 to 400 kilometers coverage. I may make a mistake. I'm sorry if I made a mistake, and a military professional would judge me. I beg your pardon, please. Here is the thing: the people have gathered here to catch a glimpse of the military equipment been transferred to the Red Square, to the sort of dress rehearsal for the upcoming May the 9th victory celebrations. This year, I guess Russia will celebrate this 70, okay, 77th or 76th anniversary, marking the victory over Nazi Germany back in the 1940s. And we see here the truck is parked just next to the traffic lights. A lot of people are taping the movement of the armored vehicles, and they will circulate that on social media or on their Instagram profiles on Facebook, etc. This is the very center of Moscow. Okay, I guess I know the yeah. This is the Большая Tverskaya, or the very heart of the city. Just just within a 20 minutes walk from the Red Square. Well, yeah, a lot of I don't know, the road walkers with in work fatigue. Yeah, this is the very center of Moscow. I remember that. Yeah, Moscow is really expansive. It's so wide. It's so large, with those massive buildings, with those massive houses, which constructed during the Stalin's era back in the 1930s or 40s. Here is the thing. I think just yeah. Oh, this kind of the scooters look So impressive. I haven't seen anything like in our city of the Black Sea coast of Sochi. Oh, this lady is wearing a skirt, and she's also she's also pushing that scooter, and here is a baby in a in a in a in a stroller. Yeah, Muscovites are here. Yeah, the that heavy equipment is I guess it's parked over there. Yeah, all the military vehicles are traveling toward the Red Square through the main thoroughfare of Moscow, uh, which goes to the Mosque River and to the bridge, which is cross, which is joining the one part of Moscow with another, and this kind of the armored personnel vehicles, which are not as heavy as tanks, but they are something like second to the tanks, and BMPs or something like that. I still don't remember how they're called. Yeah, something like that. BMPs with a machine gun there and with a small millimeter cannon on top. Well, let's continue with our research or some updates about the Moscow parade back in the 1940s. Usually, it took 2 or 3 months for the troops to prepare for the parade on Red Square, but in 1941 they had just several days. After the parade, the soldiers relocated directly to the front line to confront the perilous danger. It says. The parade was widely covered by Soviet and foreign journalists still in Moscow. Veteran Sergei Kolodin recalled, I listened to the parade at home in Kalinin, now the city of Tver. A lot of beautiful girls out there, yeah, with flaunt in their long legs. Looks so lovely. Uh, yeah, a lot of people you see there filming that. Okay, yeah, let's continue. I'll listen to the parade, it says. It really inspired us young people very much. It was so galvanized. I was 17 then, and I went off to the battlefront. After 1941, Moscow didn't see any parades until the very end of the war. The next time Soviet soldiers marched on the Red Square came only on June the 24th, 1945. Okay, I need to see this armored personnel carrier on a flagpole carrying the Soviet flag, Soviet red flag, and the and this military fortified vehicle has stopped, and this kind of the long column of military equipment has stopped. We see the right police patrolling the streets to keep everything in order. And again, to remind you, this is the very heart of the city of Moscow, where the government sits, where the mayor sits, and we see the plaques mm, of historic events. I guess from here, Lenin used to dress in 1905 to the or in 1917 to the working peasants of Moscow, and somewhere in this backyard or in this yard I rented a room, and this is a kind of the Stalinist buildings. I rented a room back in 2015, and I stayed there for I guess for 1 or 2 nights. I had to do my things in Moscow. I was busy with at the Moscow State University of International Relations, where diplomats are are trained, where diplomats are coached. different shops, different cafeterias, coffee shops, and Muscovites up and down. But I've got to tell you that most of them, I think that not Muscovites, but most of them have come to conquer Moscow, have come to um do something. Oh, yeah, this military equipment. There are a lot of them here. This kind of tank looks. It looks like a bull. It's so unusual. Okay, yeah, yeah. This military equipment is away a few a few minutes walk from the very red square. When we walk just down this pavement, down the street, we in a few moments we would face the red square. It's just a 5 minute walk from here. What you see now. This military equipment has been put to a halt due to some arrangements. It looks like they are jammed in there, and it's quite noisy because the engines are on and it gives a lot of noise. It says shawarma, which is 24/7 uh, available. Multi coffee shop. Yeah, here is this kind of the funny rabbit or hare cartoonish character attracting people to the coffee shop somewhere like that. This should be the street of Tverskaya, if I'm not mistaken. If I make a mistake, please uh, comment down below this video. Someone is coding. Police is around here. Yeah, woman is putting up the cam, the tape the equipment. Yeah, nowadays it's so easy to transfer, to send everything very fast to the uh, to your uh, to the profile or to the friends, and sharing has become something like a top priority because what you think, but because what you see, any person thinks fit to share that with somebody else to be able to feel what they feel when sharing the image on social media, on the WhatsApp or Telegram, etc. Some kids are having fun. This is a dance. If they are dancing, they're doing something. I don't know what are they rehearsing. They're just having fun. They're just horsing around. T loves skirt. It's yes. Yeah, another beautiful lady is over here. Okay, let's keep on with our historic events. The Moscow Parade. Okay, this May campaign of Moscow's May campaign is the largest scale campaign, uh, which is intended to address both domestic and international audiences. Has is entering their home straight. These 3 year long campaigns have long been devoted to the, for example, to the 60th, to the 65th, 67th, I'm sorry, 70th and 75th and 76th anniversaries of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. this is really a big event, and we can't downplay that. Events, celebrations, and which has propped actually prop work, and this kind of the celebrations have been taking place, and they propped a great work to do just to make that happen. And this is this kind of the celebrations began with mocking the Victory Day from the Battle of Stalingrad, followed by victories in subsequent battles, culminating in a new display of Victory Parade on May the 9th in Red Square in subsequent years. The end of the final campaign had to be changed because of the COVID-19 pandemic, because we know that back in 19, in I'm sorry, in 2020, the parade, the Red Square May the 9th celebrations were revoked due to COVID-19 pandemic, with the parade taking place 24th June instead of it took a little bit later on 24th June instead of May the 9th. That is on the 75th anniversary of the original Victory Parade. Um, well, here we are. This is what kind of a street? There's a beautiful girl, a beautiful lady out there, and we see here the this kind of the column of military vehicles, long distance rocket launchers, and here is a ladder because they are putting up there some decorations. I have no idea what's going on there, but here's another ladder just resting against the wall. Okay, well, this is the very heart of Moscow. Yeah. Oh, a lot of, a lot of sort of the riot police there. Well, oh, we have a close up. Just take a look at this missile launchers. Oh, they are really so massive. They're so big. It's so noisy there because the engines are running. Let me give you another update from Wikipedia. Moscow Victory Day, 1945, was was a victory parade held by the Soviet armed forces with the color guard company representing the First Polish Army. After the defeat of Nazi Germany, this is the longest and the largest military parade ever held on Red Square in the Soviet capital, Moscow, involved 40,000 Red Army soldiers, 1,850 military vehicles, and other military hardware. The parade lasted just over 2 hours in a rainy June 24th, 1945, over a month after May the 9th, the day of Germany's surrender to the Soviet commandos. Okay, I will Stalin's order. I will bring it Stalin's order here. Stalin's order says for the observance of the parade. The parade itself was ordered by Joseph Stalin on June the 22nd, 1945, by virtue of Order 370 of the Office of the Supreme Commander in Chief, Armed Forces of the USSR. This order is as follows: Order uh, numbering 370 of the Supreme Commander in Chief, Armed Forces of the USSR, and current People's Commissar of the State for Defense. To mark this, anniversary of Germany in Great Patriotic War, I order a parade of troops of the Army, Navy, and Moscow garrison, the Victory Parade on June the 24th, 1945, at the Moscow's Red Square. Marching on parade shall be combined regiments of all the fronts, a People's Commissariat of National Defense, combined regiment, the Soviet Navy, military, academics, and schools, and troops of Moscow garrison and military district. My deputy marshal of the Soviet Union, Georgy Zhukov, will be the parade inspector. Marshal Konstantin Rokossovsky will command the Victory Parade itself. I entrust to Colonel General Pavel Artemiev the preparations and the provision of the parade organization due to his concurrent capacities to the commanding general of the Moscow military district and the commanding officer in charge of the Moscow city garrison. June the 22nd, 1945, signed Marshal of the Soviet Union Joseph Stalin, Supreme Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the USSR, and concurrent People's Commissar of Defense of the USSR. This was preceded by another letter by General of the Army Alexei Antonov, Chief of the General Staff of the Soviet Armed Forces. To all the participants, fronts in attendance on the 24th of the previous month, which is follows. I'm reading another order. Order the fronts who will participate in the Victory Parade. The Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces has ordered that, first, in order for the front to participate in the Moscow City Parade in honor of the victory over Germany, each front will be represented by a combined regiment which is to be raised among them. Second, the following pattern will form the combined front regiment as follows. Fifth, 2 company battalions with 100 men in the company, 10 squads of 10 men each will be bases, accompanied by 19 commander staff officers from the front, 1 regimental commander, 2 deputy regimental commanders for drill and ceremony and political training respectively, 1 regimental chief of staff, 5 battalion commanders, 10 company commanders, 36 color bearers, and 4 escorting officers. All in all, the regiment will be composed of 1,059 male active personnel and 10 additional reserve personnel. A combined regiment for the parade will have the following companies: 6 infantry companies, 1 artillery company, 1 tank company, 1 air company, and 1 combined company composed of cavalrymen, sappers, signalmen, respectively. And the fourth point, the companies in attendance will be manned so as to have the middle-ranked officers commanding the squads, which are then composed of privates and sergeants. The combined regiment will be armed in the following pattern or the parade. Third, infantry companies with submachine guns, the artillery company with slung carbines, the tank company and the air company both armed with pistols, and the combined cavalry, signals, and saber company also with slung carbines and with a saber for the cavalrymen in attendance. Sixth point, the front commanders and all commanders, including air and tank army commanders, will arrive in Moscow for the parade. The seventh point, on June the 10th of this year, the combined regiment of the front will arrive in Moscow, heavy M36 combat colors from selected front units that are the most distinguished in action, and all the captured enemy standards, whatever the number, selected to be carried to the parade proper. And I've got to remind you that I'm reading some historic events of the parade in the Red Square, dedicated to their victory over Nazis. The full dress uniform will be issued, it says, in Moscow for use on the parade by the regimental staff. Okay, we see this kind of the flags, the Russian tricolor flags flying on a flagpole. It's sort of a kind of a department of or sort of a managerial board, which has to do with the government, because all the government, nearly most of the government offices are based here. This is the very center of Moscow. You see some beautiful traditional architecture, which is quite habitual for Moscow. And check that out. And no longer can we see military equipment. Okay. We can see them, but I guess it becomes a little bit darker because it's nearing to the evening. I guess, judging on the outdoor entourage and the ambiance on the street, and it's the second part of the day, and it's turning to the evening, I guess. Well, uh, but okay, here's another cameraman just capturing all that on a professional camera. It says something like that. Just check this out for yourself. Yeah, all along the street, there are a lot of people have gathered to see what is going on, because people always feel wanna satisfy their curiosity, and based on that, they have okay, two beautiful girls have are just turned back to take a look. This these cameramen are filming everything. Well, this is the thing, and let me continue just a little bit, delivering you some historic points on the parade of 1945. Intensive preparations for the parade took place in the late May and early June in Moscow. The preliminary rehearsal of the victory parade took place at the central airfield, and the general rehearsal on Red Square on June the 22nd. Marshal go, how to read that? Georgy Zhukov, who had formally accepted German surrender to the Soviet Union. It was the okay. The loudspeaker says that you should cross the street so as not to make some congestions there. The loudspeaker tells that yeah, people are taking the underground to cross the street. This is street crossing, and they okay. Our cameraman takes us to the other side of the street to continue the journey. I guess okay. This This leads to the metro station, I guess. Yeah, or it's something like the street crossing. It allows you to cross another side of the street, which brings you a little bit closer to the red square. Let's check it out once once we're out of this underground. Yeah, in a few moments we will be wrapping up this video, and let me give you some more points there. Marshal Zhukov, who had formally accepted the German surrender to the Soviet Union, and Konstantin Rokossovsky rode through the parade ground on the white and black stallions, respectively. The fact is commemorated by the equestrian statue of Zhukov in front of the State Historical Museum on Manege Square. Zhukov's stallion was called like a kumir or idol, while Rokossovsky was called Stolp, which is like a pole. The general secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, stood atop Lenin's mausoleum and watched the parade alongside other dignitaries present. According to certain Okay, we are to wrap up this. According to the certain editors of the Zhukov memory, Stalin had intended to ride through the parade himself, but he fell from the horse during the rehearsal and had to yield the honor to Zhukov, who used to be a cavalry officer. However, this story is disputed by former Soviet Viktor Suvorov. Thanks for watching.